When you're busy and on the go, hey, maybe you've got your kids in tow, you're running around doing errands, you've got multiple jobs, whatever it is, so many of us could use a little R&R, that rest and relaxation. And our next guest is going to stress the importance of rest. Katie McDonald, welcome back to the Road Show.
Thank you. So good to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Hey, you know what? I am someone who sometimes feels guilty when they want to sit down and rest, because I look at everything else on my plate and I think I'm always busy and running around. I should be doing it. I should be getting something done. Am I alone in this?
Oh my gosh, that is my MO too. Rest does not come naturally to me at all. And most high achievers, most people who love to get things done will avoid rest at all cost because we think it's in competition for productivity.
Exactly. But rest can lead to productivity, and there are actually a lot of great benefits to it. It's really important. And your first point is you're saying that it's really overlooked a lot of the times of when we need to stop and take that rest.
There's no question, because in our culture, we value doing, and rest is the opposite. Rest is being, right? And we are human beings, not human doings, but our instincts and our drive and our good girl and good boy natures, and in a culture that will always celebrate a to-do list over a to-be list, just being is... really, we tend to wait until we're sick, until we're desperate, and then it's okay. But we need to actually interrupt our days with pauses of rest so that we don't get sick and that we don't have to create an emergency for us to honor what's a birthright and, frankly, a really good strategy for getting more things done.
You make some solid points there. I am such a to-do list type person, and I know sometimes on my to-do list I have to write down rest or do nothing or don't make plans. So I'm right there with you. But it could be scary and maybe overwhelming for a lot of people, because part of rest is that silence, that quiet, and that time for yourself, and that might be something that many of us dread.
We don't know how to be in our own company. We don't know how to hang out just with ourselves. And this is true in, again, a culture that celebrates busyness and celebrates doing and, frankly, celebrates chaos, that when we go inward, it's we face all the things that we're trying to distract ourselves from by watching too much TV, too much screen, too much, too many doing, too much food, whatever too muchness. When we're with ourselves, we have to face the fact that a lot of times we don't feel like we're enough. And when we don't feel like we're enough, we tend to do too much. So we have to learn slowly and surely and consistently how to be in our own company. And that requires, it requires some practice. It really does.
Certainly. So take those moments of rest. What is rest really about then? I mean, yeah, the silence is nice. I'm sure if you've got some chaos running around in your life, the quiet is nice. But what is rest really about?
That's a great question. I mean, how do you even define rest, right? Like, what is it? That's how foreign it is to me too. So rest is not doing, like we talked about. It's not about productivity. It's also not procrastination, and it's not avoidance. That's not rest either, right? A lot of times it's, I'm going to go do this. And really what we're doing is avoiding the very things we need to be doing. So It is not those. What it is an interruption to the cadence and the pace of our lives. And again, it's about not producing anything. It's about restoring and replenishing. And it's one of the most important acts of self-care that's so elusive to us, because when we are focused and driven on doing, we don't know how to say, do I have permission to show up for myself the way I show up for everybody else?
Definitely. And those moments of rest, it doesn't need to be, okay, I have to go lay down for an hour or 2 hours, right? There could be small pockets of time that you're achieving this over the course of the day, right?
Well, I think that's, as you said, people don't even know what rest is. And a lot of ways, it's a personal definition, because my definition of rest may not be yours. But the basics are breathing. Like if we believe that rest is going to be 2 hours, in a bubble bath, then we're in trouble, right? We're not going to do it. But it could be 2 minutes of a deep breath. It could be just that pause. just a moment. It can be a cup of tea in silence until we have the last drop, from the moment we do the kettle on until we have that last drop. So there's so many different ways that we can do rest. Another way that we can do rest is just enter nature. Simply go outside, take a deep breath. We've just rested. We've broken up the cadence of our lives. And that in and of itself is rest. But we have to figure out, what is rest for us?
I like that personalization. Well, we'd love to hear from our viewers of what they consider to be rest. So yeah, I encourage you right now, this is your call to action. Get on social media. Let us know what your rest is. Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So like I said, share your thoughts with us on social media, all at The Rhode Show. Go take a nap.